There are two missing toddlers from California City, California. California City is about 109 miles north of Los Angeles, California. Orson and Orrin West are missing as of December 21st, 2020. They live with their adopted parents, Trazelle and Jacqueline West. The parents also have 4 other children. It's been almost 2 weeks since these two little guys went missing.
Cameras last night. I didn't even see y'all out here praying with them people. Them people was out to take care of my nephew. Not supposed to happen.
I understand.
Y'all was supposed to take care of my nephew.
I understand.
If anybody's watching at home who knows anything, or if somebody who has these kids, if they're watching, what is your message to them?
The message has always been, as soon as possible, call the California City Police Department.
Welcome to Left Undone Incomplete Investigations. I'm Catherine. Welcome back. According to California City Police, the 2 boys were last seen on the 10,700 block of Aspen Avenue in California City at their house. This was on a Monday. Both boys are described as weighing around 30 pounds and 3 feet tall with brown eyes. Both children were described as wearing black sweatshirt and gray sweatpants. If you know anything about the California desert, the weather is cold at night, very cold, especially at night. It is not a place for children to be out alone at night by any means, especially this long. It isn't a warm night in this area at this time of year in California City. Night temperatures over the last 2 weeks were about 40 degrees at night. There has been foot searches by the community as well as drones and dogs. The children are aged 3 and 4, and the parents say they last saw them around 5 p.m. on December 21st.
We just want to thank everyone in the community for all the support we've seen. We've felt so helpless. And seeing everybody out here really looking and helping out really means a lot.
So, tell us what happened the night the kids went missing.
Okay.
From our yard.
Okay. It was cold. I was gonna make a fire. There's a lot of wood in this area right here next to our house. I opened up the back gate. I'm throwing wood, bringing it inside the house. My wife's inside. She was actually wrapping gifts, so we thought it was a good idea that our youngest 2 go outside and play with chalk on the back patio. Do not let them go on the dirt in the backyard. We keep them close. So I was playing with chalk, and I came in the house. I saw them there. I went in the house. I came back out. I didn't see them now. I immediately went back in, asked my wife, did you see the boys? She said, no, they should be outside playing with chalk. I said, well, I didn't see them, so I came back outside and I started searching my backyard. I searched the whole thing. I realized that I left the gate open and I panicked, came inside the house, searched the house, me and my wife. Once that didn't pan out, I got in the van. I looked down the street, both directions. It was getting dark, getting cold, and I got in the van and I hit a bunch of corners. I went down this street. I turned my light on. I searched. I called their names. Talked to a gentleman on the street on the other side over there. He didn't see them. So then I came home and I told my wife we need to call the cops. It's getting dark and I need help. We gotta get going. So I called the cops. Cops came. First thing they did was tell us to stay in the house so they can get a hold of us. And they had us just sitting there, and we wanted to keep searching. But everybody came out in droves, and I wanted to thank you guys that night, but we couldn't go outside.
The cops told us the best are out here.
The best are out here searching, and we appreciate it.
The mom was in the house wrapping presents for Christmas, and the dad was collecting firewood in the yard. The local police have spoken to every neighbor, and these neighbors have said they've never seen the boys there.
It's been nearly a week since the boys have been missing, and today neighbors gathered outside of their home chanting, "Where are the boys?" and lit candles for them. Now those same neighbors and community leaders say they're not going to stop until they're found.
I have not been able to rest. I have not been able to get any peace of mind because things like this don't just happen out here.
Cheyenne Sanford says she is one of the many Cal City residents that has been looking for 3-year-old Orson West and 4-year-old Orrin West. The two boys went missing Monday night, according to their adoptive parents. Sanford says this morning law enforcement were back out in the neighborhood, and she and others continued their own search.
And so we met up out here about 7 o'clock this morning over here at this house, this location, and we just spread out from here. We just took off-roading in a minivan, you know, just everywhere, just scouring the desert, just looking for any clues.
Sanford, alongside other neighbors, gathered in front of the home chanting, "Where are the boys?" Sunday night. And before they left, they lit candles beside the toys, cards, and messages placed by others in the community calling for their return.
Somebody knows something. Somebody in the community seen something.
And one community leader, local pastor David McKinley, who held a vigil with nearly 50 in attendance this weekend for the West boys, says that the vigil was needed to show they have not been forgotten.
So the vigil was to give the community a sense of hope, to let them know that even though the situation may seem dark and bleak, that there is still somebody that is always watching. And I believe it worked.
The California Police Department, the Kern County Sheriff's Office, and the FBI are all working on this investigation. And as of Sunday, there are no suspects named so far. And residents of Cal City say it has rocked their community.
If I'm being honest, it's been a little frightening to know that there is a definite need in the community. A 3-year-old and a 4-year-old has just been uprooted and gone missing. It's frightening because it really could be anybody.
But we can't stop. We just got to keep going every single day until answers come.
And if you have any information regarding this investigation, please contact the California Police Department at the number listed at the bottom of your screen. In Cal City, Leslie Gooden, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
The parents are receiving criticism for not participating in the search. On Sunday, they released a statement saying their priority is to find the boys. They're cooperating with law enforcement.
And we appreciate it, and nobody ever could tell, we could never talk to anybody, and that was the issue.
We just want to thank everybody.
We really want to thank you guys.
Please, if anybody has seen them, please call, let somebody know.
Call the cops, call California the City Police Department. Call them and let them know what you've seen, if you see anything. Our boys, they are going to be rambunctious, okay? They are going to be here in this area. And I really would like to go in the houses, but it's not because I want to invade people's privacy. I just want to know if make sure. That's it. Because I don't.
They have also stated that within 24 hours of the boys disappearing, their extended family has received death threats, even family that lives thousands of miles away. So therefore, they have stated they were advised to avoid public gatherings in regards to these boys.
Why did it take both of y'all to go in the house and leave them outside by themselves?
I understand.
And y'all know the gate was open.
Why haven't y'all been out with the people around this neighborhood looking with the kids?
Because we already told on camera.
I didn't see y'all on no cameras last night. I didn't even see y'all out here praying with them people. Them people was out to take care of my nephew. Not this, not supposed to happen.
I understand.
Y'all was supposed to take care of my nephew.
I understand.
If anybody's watching at home who knows anything, or if somebody who has these kids, if they're watching, what is your message to them?
The message has always been, as soon as possible, call the California City Police Department, and please bring our babies home, and that's that.
That's one of the reasons why we actually didn't want to do
This
this.
is the reason why. Because we were under orders to stay in the house and stay because they're going to need to contact us, and we cannot go outside, and that was the issue. We were under orders by the cops to stay home in the house and let the professionals look.
But you just said that they were your children. If they were your children, regardless of what somebody told you, wouldn't you want to go look for them?
Well, we have cops actually posted in the front door right there.
How cold it is at night?
We totally understand. If you guys actually have that question, we should ask the police officer.
The situation, but do you see how it seems that
yes.
that the kids was left unattended? You guys went in the house and then the kids disappeared. How did they disappear?
Exactly, and that's the word we try to figure out.
It doesn't make sense. How did they disappear? How did they go out? You guys had the house supervised already. And my question is, why were they the only two children out? Where were the rest of the kids?
The rest of the kids were with grandma.
With who?
They left. They went on vacation.
So they didn't?
No, because they're too young. We didn't. We watched them. And it turns out that happened.
How did the
All right, guys, sorry, I know
they're older.
Just really quickly before we forget, first and last names, spelling of both for both of you guys.
So, excuse me, say it again.
Just first and last name.
Spelling of who or what?
Or just your first and last name.
Our names.
Trazelle West
Jacqueline
is
West.
Trezell West.
Okay, and for you?
Jacqueline.
I'm sorry, one more time?
Jacqueline.
Okay. West?
Yes.
Okay, guys, we'll let you go.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
No.
She probably want to feel bad, but she probably know he gonna look. He knows.
The family's home has been searched multiple times, and the police chief, John Walker, said that they are not stopping until this is solved. He also stated if anyone knows anything, to call the California City Police Department at 760-373-8606.
4-year-old Orrin and 3-year-old Orson went missing in California City.
David Kaplan continues our coverage on the latest in the efforts to find these boys. David?
Dave, Aaron, there are a mountain of unanswered questions in this investigation, but based on what I've uncovered, we may not have those answers anytime soon. Saturday, California City Police aided over 100 people searching through the desert near the home where Orrin and Orson West were last seen December 21st.
I have nieces and kids that, if they're missing, I would want them to, I would like for people to help us, look for them.
Sunday, a group of around 40 people searched in fields next to this apartment complex in Bakersfield where Orson and Orrin lived with their adoptive parents Trazelle and Jacqueline West before they moved to California City in September.
This was the last place they lived, so we just want to check all the fields, the canal, and everything around here just to make sure.
One noticeable absence from these search parties, the adoptive parents. On Sunday, Trazelle and Jacqueline West released a statement saying their priority is finding the boys and they are cooperating with police. They also addressed the reason they say they haven't joined the search parties, saying, quote, in less than 24 hours of the disappearance of the boys, our extended family started receiving threats of physical violence, including death threats. Family members who live thousands of miles away also received these same threats. We were advised appropriately to avoid public spaces and crowds given the immediacy and intensity of these threats. John Walker, California City's police chief, says they have now searched the home in California City multiple times. He says they haven't found anything so far, but are still reviewing some things that were taken by investigators. Walker says his department won't stop until the mystery is solved.
I want to keep the story out there. I want people to know that these kids have not been found. And whatever we can do to find them, we're willing to do.
Police Chief Walker tells me if you find anything of interest or suspicious or know anything at all that could help authorities, you're urged to contact the California City Police Department. In studio, David Kaplan, Eyewitness News.
The West's other 4 children have been removed from the home and were taken into police custody while this is being investigated. The birth mother of Orrin and Orson did lose custody of these boys. She did not voluntarily give up the children when they were adopted by their foster family, eventually, the Wests. There is anger from the birth mother and her family towards the west. Ryan Dean from Bakersfield, this is the birth mother. She had to give up the boys. CPS took them from her. They were initially put into foster care, but eventually she lost her parental rights and the foster family did adopt them. They were initially put into foster care shortly after they were each born. And they have been living with Trazelle and Jacqueline West in California City. This family moved from Bakersfield to California City 3 months ago. The birth mother stated in a quote, "I feel my kids are somewhere around here. I feel it. I feel like they're in the house and I feel like they did something." Very accusatory towards the adopted parents. Since then, the FBI and other agencies have reportedly become involved in the investigation. Police have not yet named a suspect in the case. In a Tuesday press conference, however, Police Chief John Walker said, "I do suspect foul play," per the Desert News, adding, "I cannot comment on that, whether I think they're alive or not. We have not been able to put together how the boys got out of the yard or where they've gone." He also told reporters that neighbors have not seen Orson or Orrin since the West family moved to California City. The boys were adopted by the West family in 2019, according to reports. Now, again, like we said, the biological mom feels that these adopted parents are to blame and they are involved in the disappearance. They did something, she said. "I feel like they did something and they know something," she says. In a statement by the West's extended family, the boys and their siblings joined our family legally last year when the parental rights of their birth mother were taken away by the state of California, and the birth fathers collectively gave up their parental rights. From day one, when the boys and their siblings came into our lives through emergency foster care, our number one priority was to embrace them and treat them as our own. When the approval to adopt was granted last year, we were ecstatic that they would have a permanent home. We will not disparage or bash the biological family of the boys, but it should be noted that they were placed into the system for various reasons and were adopted as a result. We are sure the pain and anger we feel is also felt by the biological family, and our heart goes out to them. I'm just reporting the facts and what has been stated. There's a lot of speculation, a lot of hearsay, and a lot of noise on social media about what could have had happened and who could be involved. We aren't going to go there. I just wanted to bring this report to you, show you some of the news clips about the sad story, heartbreak at Christmas time, truly, for your young little boys, 3 and 4 years old, to just up and vanish. And up and vanish isn't really a thing, two at the same time. It's highly suspicious, but what and who? We don't know yet, but we will continue to follow this story. Thank you for watching Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. I'm Catherine.